Welcome to another edition of EdTalks. This is our digital leadership series. And I'm like, of course, we have to have Neil Versel with us. Neil, welcome to EdTalks.
Thanks, Ed. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's great seeing you. You're like one of the best when it comes to sort of a combination in my mind, communication, journalism, marketing, understanding what's going on. And you've been at this for a little while, and I'm just happy to have you. So, Neil, tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Well, a little while in health tech, I guess, is 25 years. So I'm a journalist at heart. I've been trying to branch into communications a little bit. You mentioned the marketing part. I'm doing some marketing freelance work this month. I am looking for a new opportunity. So prospective employers, let's get in
Yeah.
touch. Yeah, whether it's in journalism, whether it's in PR, whether it's in marketing, whether it's in research. I have a degree in history. I'm really good at finding information. The way you find information obviously has changed quite a bit. I've been using ChatGPT to dig deeper, almost as an addition to Google these days. Obviously, you have to verify everything that's out there. I've seen, without getting too far on a tangent here, generative AI has its place, but it's also not 100% accurate these days. In fact, I asked ChatGPT to write a bio on me earlier this year for for an application or for a gig, and it spit out some things that weren't true about
Yeah.
me.
You're having Neil hallucinations, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was hallucinating that I have a degree in journalism, which I
So,
don't. Yeah.
yeah. So, Neil, and then on the personal side, like you're like me, you like to get outside and exercise, or you're like a triathlete. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and you are too. I don't compete for Team USA like you do, but I brought a prop. Have finished two Ironman races, Chattanooga last year, Madison, Wisconsin in 2021, and I couldn't swim 10 years ago. So basically peer pressure from friends like, hey, you got to try this. You got to try this. Because I used to go on long bike rides with friends who had done triathlons because that's my thing. And everybody comes from one of the three disciplines. And, one of the three is their strongest, one of the three is their weakest. And running was kind of okay. I didn't do a lot of it, but I learned to swim. I'm still a very slow swimmer, but, it's just a matter of getting across the finish line,
Yeah.
really. So,
Well, the fact that,
but it teaches perseverance. It teaches discipline. It teaches, the idea of just keep on developing your skills, almost lifelong learning in a way, pushing
yeah,
through adversity. I'm sure you've been rained on in races. I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah,
you've struggled in hot sun on, on long runs.
yeah.
So, it's just, you got to deal with it.
Yeah, you learn resiliency
Yeah.
and suffering and all that kind of stuff, but having that vision to finish something, and which is perfect in the workplace too. What would you
Yes.
say, Neil, so other people can learn from you? What are one or two attributes about you that you might think have really helped establish you as, one of these great digital leaders in many people's minds?
Well, I don't know if I'm a digital leader, but if you say so, somebody who's a great digital leader like yourself, then I guess it must be true. Which is funny because I was just about to say, I love pursuing the truth. Yeah, that's what any information professional does. You want to dig up the truth. You want to make sure that it's verified. Sometimes you state your opinion, but you still want to make sure it's backed up by facts. I think that's extremely important. I also think, just getting to know a subject really well is important too. You got to do the homework. You got to do the background research. You got to ask the questions of people who know more things than you do. When I interview people with, say PhDs or MDs, or, for the 6.5 years that I covered genomics, and I don't have a science mind at all, but I, thought I was successful in covering that because I understood the data part of it. And then I asked the right questions of the right people. And yes, I was covering informatics within genomics, so there was some familiarity, but a lot of the stuff just, was over my head when I first started.
Right.
Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't want to say fortunately about a pandemic, PCR became a household term. Everybody was familiar with what it was in 2020, 2021. And that's one of the things that, one of the many terms that I had to pick up when I was covering genome informatics. So, it's just staying on top of the news, staying on top of trends, and understanding who the key people are, maybe even some people who are behind the scenes and not well known, and finding them,
Yes. Yeah.
because there are a lot of innovative people out there who aren't well known and maybe should be. And you've probably worked with a ton of them over the years.
Ton. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the more you can do finding them, the better we are as an
Mhm.
industry and as a society. It's often more quiet ones that are doing even better things than some of the more out there
That's
ones
right.
at times. So no, this is great, Neil, and we will put all of your information, like how to contact you, in the show notes. But you've been and continue to be one of the digital leaders across the healthcare landscape. Always love following your stuff and learning from
Appreciate
you,
it.
and so interesting. And again, all of the different things that you shared, whether it was on what it takes to be a successful triathlete and a successful marketing, communication, PR, all that whole shebang, journalism expert,
Yeah.
really comes together. So thank you so much for being our guest on Ed Talks.
I really appreciate it, Ed. It's great to see you and great to be here.